As crazy as it seems, you don't actually need anything right now, except for God. Because God is love, and God's love is plentiful, and it is sufficient for us. No matter if you are a child, old, little, tall, strong, weak, it doesn't matter. In reality, we are all weak. I mean, we cannot do barely anything. Without God allowing something, we cannot do anything. Our power, the little that we have, it comes from God. So we do not have control. The only control we have is to reject or accept God's will. I can attest to this, that when we do love God, when we do pray daily, things change. I am more virtuous, I am more humble, more charitable, I am more trusting in God's plan, His providence. That is the key, to surrender ourselves to God's providence. I do not have any control except for accepting God's will or rejecting His will. That is the only thing I can do. And we should not worry. You aren't called to worship your job, your career, your money, your worldly success, your number of followers on social media. And Christ tells us that what troubles us, what hurts us immensely, it's our worry, it's our desire to control things, our desire to deal with what afflicts us. No, we should not, by ourselves, deal with what afflicts us. We should embrace the crosses in our lives. At this point, I feel a kind of peace, that feeling that says there is no worry, there is no reason to worry. No matter what happens, no matter what I am called to, no matter the kinds of sufferings, the amounts of suffering and crosses I will have to bear, with God, everything is possible. Our Lady of Sorrows, she suffered immensely. Her swords of sorrow was piercing her heart. She was willing to suffer for God. She was obedient. She was steadfast. She had immense trust in God and God's providence, even though she couldn't really see the full picture yet during that Annunciation. She trusted in God. Perhaps most of the time, Jesus our Lord will lead you on different paths that you hadn't thought about before, that you didn't want to go on. You had other plans, but God has a plan for you that is better. It may not seem as good as your plans right now, but God is all-knowing. He sees your entire life from beginning to end at once, and He is all-powerful and all-good. So His plan is far, far superior to your own plan. And when you do go on this different path that He has prepared for you, He will carry you like a child. Remember, we are God's children. God is not merely a judge. God is our Father. So let God carry you in His arms when you go on this different path, which wasn't in your mind when you first started walking. Trusting in Him fully, in His divine providence. And do not worry, do not be troubled. Do not think about the consequences of your actions, the consequences of anything. Just trust in God and that He will provide for you. If you follow God, then whatever happens, happens. You are confident in God that He will calm the storms in your life. Trust in Him. Surrender to Him, saying, take care of everything. I am weak. I am not in control. Let Thy will be done. Let Thy will be done. I am only strong for You, God, my Lord. Let Thy will be done. Take care of everything. But remember, how hard it may seem, your circumstances in life, if you don't feel love from this world, remember that everything passes. Everything shall pass, and you are not meant for this world. This world is only thy ship. It's not your home. Your home is in heaven with God. So no matter what trials you are in and suffering right now, remember, this world is not supposed to satisfy you. only being with God in heaven can bring you perfect happiness. So it's important to not make idols of things, to not be attached to things and the outcome. We are called to pick up our cross and to follow Him, to follow Christ. If we do not do that, we are not worthy of Him. He's so merciful. He's so beautiful. There's so much peace and love you can experience through Him. I say this as someone who has battled with depression, anxiety, self-deleting thoughts, OCD. There is nothing that can satisfy your desire for peace, for happiness, other than God. There is nothing. I say this as someone who has gone to the emergency psych ward 3 times, I think, for having self-deleting thoughts. I am a mess without God. I am a mess without praying to God, without a devotion to Our Lady. So this novena is so great. It's one of my favorite prayers. Oh Jesus, I surrender myself to you. Take care of everything. It's so beautiful. Trusting in Jesus Christ, surrendering to Him, that is so foundational in my opinion. As our Lord says, Satan wants to agitate you. He wants you to be bothered by trusting in human strength. We cannot do anything without Christ, as He says in the Gospels. So do not be foolish, do not be confused by power of this world. That is very fleeting. A very strong man, he will become old if he lives that long, and he will become weak, and then he will die. There is no Übermensch. It is vanity to try to mog people. We should just be humble, to see ourselves as God sees us, to try to do His will and do everything in our lives for the glory of God. And I'm no saint. I struggle immensely with this. I'm not saying this as an authority figure, but I think that is true. I'm saying all of this not just as a reminder to you, but as a reminder to myself, because I struggle. Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. Everything passes, but God remains the same. Patience reaches it all. He who has God lacks nothing. That is so true. No matter what you have on earth, if you have God, you lack nothing. You lack nothing. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding, and He will make your paths straight. Patience is also a great virtue to have, because we often don't see the fruits of our good works right away. The Lord doesn't act right away sometimes. So it's very important to trust that He works even though we don't see it right now. And he who does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. He who finds his life will lose it, and he who loses his life for my sake will find it. If you are struggling with corn, self-abuse, or lust in general, I am offering coaching to Catholic men. Just click the link in the description. If you want to disable distracting apps on your phone with a single click, you can go down the description below and get a software called Shift. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.